All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Unit Eagle Eye coming to you again with our MMA fighting show. That's right, people. You're flooding in expecting an Arsenal video. This is not you. This is the return of the dirty casual, the filthy casual, and the hot
Filthy
stuff.
casual. That's the
And
one.
joining me is my co-host, the long-awaited return of Ola. Say hello to the people, brother.
Oh, he's so happy. I'm so happy to be back here, man. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
You know
But
how often
yeah.
people ask me about, is honest all right? I ain't heard from you in ages. This, that. I'm like, yeah, bro. Well, mine was all right. And then
I was
it came
busy.
my mind. I was like, hold on. I ain't had a WhatsApp following time. Is he actually all right?
Yeah, we've been busy with family, the missus, the kids, work, those things, those little things take you away from. Even without all of those, I'm busy. I'm busy enough with work as it is anyway. So to
You
faction
like
all of that,
driving around the country, don't you?
yeah, man. I just done 13 hours of that today, so not long coming. Yeah, it's been a long day for me, but I'm so happy to be back here talking the thing that I really love to talk about. We both,
Your second sporting love.
you know what I mean? We love talking
After
about
the
the.
annoyance that is Arsenal, you've got to put that to the side. Talk about your second love.
With this one, it never disappoints, never fails. You know what I mean? What there's always a result that's gonna happen, and you never see. It's just a love for combat sport, man. You can't go wrong with it, man. You can't go wrong with combat sports. If you love combat sports, you're definitely a person after my own heart. And yeah, that's why we're here doing the show.
Yep. Okay. Let's get going then. Let's talk about it. So obviously, there've been a few developments since our last show. I can't even remember what our last show was, but I think
Um,
had we just seen that AJ lost that fight? It was a
no, that
morning
wasn't
show,
that.
wasn't it? It was
That
a
was that was yeah.
reaction to Ferguson.
Shevchenko kicked Jessica I in the eye, and
Yeah,
she didn't she didn't see that shit coming.
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Like, how you gonna be called I? And you didn't see that kick coming.
For real.
Yeah, that was
I
crazy. That was
didn't see that
crazy,
one
man.
coming. Yeah, I'm with you. And yeah, and
uh,
Ferguson lighting up Cerrone and Triple C himself uh,
yeah,
getting the second strap.
it's crazy. I mean, someone like Cejudo, the things is been through, the walls is had to climb, the blood and sweat, people underestimating him, underrating him. Like I said, because you know as well, as well as I do, I'm into my Ultimate Fighter because for me, that's where I get to see a lot of the fighters that get drafted into the UFC and get a contract. That's where you get to see their come up and their development. It's almost like it's a little academy watching these fighters go through that. And some of the established fighters, they get to coach some of the up and coming fighters, but the two coaches end up, fighting each other uh, as a main event for the Ultimate Fighter, where they get the prizes and their contracts. So to see what happened last week as well with Benavides and the last pay per view with Cejudo. It was only a matter of time before those two cross paths again, and those two are bitter enemies. Bitter enemies. And the first time round, when
Joe
when that
beat him.
Benavides whooped his
Was the
ass.
last person to beat him. Yeah.
And that's why they call him Joe Two Time. He goes around beating everybody twice, man. You get me? So, yeah, so they call me Joe Two Time, man. He wants to claim it. He wants to go back there and get, he wants another shot at Cejudo. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there if that fight gets made. I don't see it not being made now because they both been on winning streaks up until this point. So I can definitely see that fight there happening very very soon.
He did perform well last weekend, didn't he?
Oh yeah, against Formiga is a very formidable fighter. He's level of wrestling is, I would say, is on par with people like Cejudo and DJ. That's, he's got high level wrestling, high level jiu-jitsu. So for but for Migo, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. And for Benavides to deal with him like that, he came through adversity. His eye was bleeding, his face was
Yeah,
bleeding,
his eye was.
and he kept wiping it off, and he didn't get put off by it. He kept moving forward. He dealt with him. There was a lot of very, very technical scrambles. I don't know if you saw it. Fantastic technical scrambles between both of them. And it was incredible. Incredible show.
Let's talk about from last weekend what I really want to talk about. And that is Black Panther himself. Big Francis. Put it on. I must admit,
the Predator.
I was worried about that fight. For some reason, I thought, and this is just me being real, I thought Junior would win that. I
didn't bet against Francis. On this fight, I always put my money where my mouth is. I've done a few of those for this upcoming pay-per-view. Quickly, I'm just going to quickly shout. Yeah, just going to quickly shout out the chat room. VP75, Evan Kennedy, JCR 1803, Alan Dos Santos, Gary Robinson, and Max Libagi. You guys make the show for us. You guys make it worth watching. Putting these shows together. The fact that you lot get together and come and watch us ramble on about MMA. Just wanted to show a little appreciation for that.
No, by all means, bruv, this is your co-host. This is what we should be doing. And I echo those sentiments. For me, I know that these shows are not always as popular and as rampus as the Arsenal stuff. But sometimes, Ola will back me up on this, you need a break from the Arsenal every now and again.
100%. I mean, it's something that gets you away from the whole drama. We were saying off earlier on. I mean, Arsenal's drama throughout the season, and when the season is off, the drama doesn't stop. It's continuous drama with Arsenal, and sometimes you need to desensitize yourself. You need to recharge your batteries. You need to just get away from the silly season that's non-stop with information that people don't really know. Everybody's guessing. I can understand it, but if you want to recharge yourself from it, come to a show like this where we talk about something else, something that we really like, and we know a thing or two about it, and
we know it's actually going to happen.
That's what exactly. That's what it's all about, and that's why we do this. So thank you very much to all the guys in the chat room and the guys that watch us live and the guys that are going to watch it back on playback. So thank you to all of you guys, man. You're the guys that you're the real reason why we do the show. Yeah. So going back to what you said, in terms of with Francis, JDS is a very, very good contender, and the comeback, both of them, Francis needed to do it again. I think he's lost one to JDS before. He wanted to do it again. He wanted to go back, go on the go around. They called him out and said, "Look, let's do this again."
No, they were supposed to fight before.
Oh, they were supposed to do it before, and it never.
It was a drug thing, wasn't it?
It never happened. It was. I knew it was something like that, but Francis called him out after the last win, and obviously the fight. I was surprised that the fight went ahead, but both of them were moving into number one contender again. And this win was going to this win was going to solidify it for either of the two, whichever two won this fight was going to fight the champion. Depending, I will caveat that by saying it depends if no money fights come along. If no money fight comes along, the winner of this fight was going to fight the champion.
Francis is in the Tony Ferguson spot, really, isn't he?
Exactly that.
We all know he deserves a title shot. I mean, Tony's one is just ridiculous, right? We all know he deserves a title shot, but if Conor comes along, we know what's going to happen. If Brock comes along, we know what's going to happen. If Jon Jones comes along, we know what's going to happen. To be honest, it would almost be in Francis's advantage if Stipe won that fight. If Stipe beats I think that's too Francis. I think for two reasons. A, I think Francis will find that an easier fight. I know that sounds stupid considering that Stipe beat him last time, but for some reason I think Francis will do what he needs to do for that fight. Plus, we've seen Stipe now be knocked out, so we know it can happen. We know it can happen.
It's possible.
I think Francis will put it. I've just got a feeling whoever wins that fight is going to lose to Francis. I've just got this feeling. I don't know why. He looks more determined than ever.
Francis is on a momentum right now, and I said this before, and this is not just my thought. This is the thought of a couple of big accounts that we both watch. People like Bisping, we fuck with Bisping.
He thinks that Francis can beat Jon Jones.
Yeah, I believe Francis can on his day. Francis can knock anybody the fuck out. Did you hear what? Did you see the press conference? JDS's press conference. He said he's never felt a power like Francis's before. When he touches you, it's over. You gotta find a different solution to try and fight Francis.
But that's the thing, though, because in the fight and the way it played out, Francis didn't really cleanly hit him.
This is the thing. People keep thinking Francis don't cleanly hit people. They thought that we came Velasquez. Yeah. And when he uppercut him and his knee came off his ankle, like Francis doesn't really need to kill you. You know what I mean? If he really hits someone, when he really hits somebody, we saw that with Alistair Overeem. He really hit someone. Yeah. He really put that away. And when he does that,
still a scary knockout.
He's a scary knockout artist. And when Francis lays his power on, I think he realizes his power now, and he don't fully go to touch people because it might kill him. He's that dangerous. The guy is really that dangerous. And after JDS, when he dropped him with the leg kick, Francis, he went down, got himself back up, and I thought, oh shit, here we go. He's just going to chop his legs still, because Francis need leverage from his leg muscles to wind up the arm and deliver.
It's a good tactic.
Exactly. It's a good tactic to chop his legs off.
Jones is fighting. That's exactly what he's going to be doing.
He's just going to attack his legs. So anybody that really, really wants to do it is you either wrestle him and if you want to tuck in and try and get into the reach, then you're gonna have to get inside him, and that's what someone like DC will have to do to fight Francis. But on the other hand, someone that fights with range, someone that fights with distance, someone that doesn't, someone that knows how to use distance to control a fight. People like Conor McGregor, people like Jon Jones, they detect fights with distances and ranges, and the experts at it. So people like that, they'll have to do something with taking away some of Francis's power, and a lot of that power is generated from his legs. And once it winds out, once it winds it up, you're getting knocked out. But JDS only got to do it once. He chopped him once and then attacked that leg again. And I thought he would have continuously attacked him, but he didn't. And Francis just got him out of there, man. I mean, you don't turn your back against Francis, man. Like, what you doing turning your back? And it was one punch that got him spinning around as well. I thought he was doing a Kylie Minogue. When I couldn't believe what I was saying. Like, what are you doing turning around, turning your back on Francis? Like, you're still going to get punched. The ref ain't going to stop it. And in the end, that was his out by saying, I don't want to be in this fight anymore. And he looked up at the ref, and the ref had to stop it. The ref had to drag Francis off of him. So that's all she wrote. And he's go on.
No, what I was gonna say. So I mean, because obviously with the Francis thing, we've got to almost pause it and to see potentially a Francis opponent, and that is Jon Jones headlining another event, the 239 card. Give me your thoughts on the cards, particularly the prelims, because that's your area of expertise.
Right. We got a couple of very, very interesting names on the prelims. very interesting fighters, and one of them is Alejandro Perez. He's a fighter that I've followed for quite some years now. From the Ultimate Fighter, was on there with Khalil Roundtree. Khalil Roundtree is a light heavyweight that I really like. I've been following this kid from a long time. He got into the UFC because he lost his brother, and he was just going on the street doing some wild shit. But Alejandro Perez was on one of them, and I remember he said to one of the coaches, they called his name wrong. And he went down to the coaches and said, listen, my name is not Alexandra. My name is Alejandro. And he corrected the coach. And from there, and he went in and beat the fucking coach's fucking student on the UFC. So on the Ultimate Fighter, and he grabbed my attention since then. Anyways, so for me, um, I think it's impressive to have done 22 fights since then. He's only lost 7, so he's won a lot of his fights. But the guy that he's going in with, he's had 14 fights, so half as much, and he's lost 4. That's Song Da Young. I don't really know much about him, but to me, if I were to go with somebody right now, I'd have to go with Alejandro Perez. The other one is Gaidia. Versus Randa Marcos, a lady from Iraq. She's a good fighter. But again, to me, these are welcome fights for this pedigree of fighters in Gaidia, Claudia Gaidia, and Alejandro Perez. I mean, Gaidia went to war with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, if you remember. Them two went to war. And they were coaches as well.
It's my girl, so I'm definitely for that.
And them two were coaches as well on Ultimate Fighter. I don't know if you remember when them two were coaches. They went to war. Both of them went to war. So I think this is going to be a walk in the park for Gaidia.
You think she'll smoke this Randa Marcos?
Yeah. I think she'll smoke Randa Marcos easily. Randa Marcos had 9 fights, 7 losses. So to me, this is a no. This is not even a conversation. And
by the way, speaking of strawweight, just to interrupt you, what a fight! Waterson versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Oh yeah, it's a big
I won't
fight that's just been put together. But I mean, Joanna has been waiting for this moment, and she wants to fight her way back up now, right? Because she couldn't beat Namajunas twice, so she's had to take the back seat because there's no other way. And then she went up to flyweight to try and test Shevchenko. She got ragdolled in that fight, so she's had to run back. She had to tuck her tail back down to fucking strawweight. So it's gonna be interesting because if she doesn't beat Watterson, I think that could
be it.
That could spell the beginning of the end, if not the end, for Joanna. And I think Joanna has still got a lot to give to the division.
Because when you look at it, she's lost 3 in a row.
But you see, when people are champions like that, they don't want to be gatekeepers. You see, and she's if she loses the fight, she might end up being the gatekeeper for that division there. I don't see her fighting Namajunas. I don't see her fighting, any of the other top girls again until she works her way back into being number 1. And I think she wants to prove a point after losing to Shevchenko that she still got it in the strawweight division and she can still hold her own there. So it's a good fight to put together. She's on a losing streak. Watterson's on a winning streak. This could propel somebody to be number 1 contender.
It's a big task for Watterson though. Yeah, I want to believe in her, but I must admit, I got to admit, I can't see her beating Joanna.
Joanna's too good. She's way too good.
I want to believe, but
what Shevchenko did to Joanna, don't let that fool anybody that watched that fight. Do not let that fool you. What Shevchenko did to Joanna. I mean, Shevchenko's like
she's an elite fighter.
She's an elite fighter, but she's more big boned, more well rounded.
Yeah,
and she's more suited to that division.
Plus, she's had the psychological edge. She beat her twice.
Exactly.
In, I think it was Taekwondo before that even took place.
So all of that factor into what went on in that fight there, and she just ragdolled Joanna. But I still think Joanna is the elite, and she's a pressure fighter. She keeps coming forward.
Yeah,
and
excellent striker. Excellent.
We're gonna learn a lot about Watterson. Yeah, we're gonna learn a lot about Watterson in this fight, and she might well earn my ultimate full respect.
Yeah, her stock might go up in a loss. You never know.
Yeah,
it might go up in a loss.
100%.
Sorry, carry on with the card.
Yeah. So going on to the prelims, onto the main card, we've got Diego Sanchez and Michael Chiesa, and we've got a very good question in the chat. Max Lebargi just said, "How is Diego Sanchez such an underdog against Chiesa? He put £10 on Max Chiesa. Put £10 on Diego Sanchez for round 2 KO, £300
really?
return.
You think so?
Yeah, £300 return. Chiesa is a he's a very, very good fighter. He's bigger than Diego Sanchez, but Diego Sanchez is a brawler, man. He's a brawler, and people sleep on him.
Nuts,
people sleep on him, man. I mean,
Sanchez is a crazy man, but I do like it for that. Like, have you ever heard him speak just for a couple of seconds in an interview? You're like, what?
It's crazy.
What did you just say?
Yeah.
What did you say?
He's got that Masvidal energy about him, man. It's crazy, man. So I don't know. At first
he smoked Mickey Gall as well.
Oh yeah, you see what he did to Mickey Gall? Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody was expecting it, but he just came out and just cleaned him off, just cleaned him out, and it's crazy, Gary in the chat room just said wrestling is his weakness, but I think he can look after himself on the ground. I think he definitely can look after himself, but that's where Chaos I would like to take the fight. But to me,
I see him grappling with Rockhold yesterday on YouTube.
That's what he knows where Chiesa is going to try and take the fights.
Yeah.
I think Chiesa, he's a wrestling god, and he's good at what he does, and I think he won't stop coming for them takedowns. So to me, I don't know. Where are you going on this fight? How do you think you? I
was hoping he wasn't going to ask me. I want Sanchez to win. I want to make that clear to people because I'm gonna pick Chiesa.
Right.
But I want Sanchez to win.
I feel the same way with you on this one. But I'm gonna pick Chiesa to win on points.
This is gonna be the theme of a lot of this card, by the way. Me wanting something to happen, knowing that something else is gonna happen. This won't be the first time I say that sentence. Prepare yourself, people, as we go through the card.
Yep. And next on the page, Blachowicz and Rockhold.
Rockhold is going to steamroll Blachowicz. Mind you, I cannot stand Rockhold, and I would love him to lose this fight.
I mean, what was that stuff with him and Anthony Smith about, man? Like, why is it decides to just pick on Anthony Smith? Like,
I don't even know. I don't know if initially I thought, oh, maybe he's just trying to get his first fight in the division, but no, I actually just think he's that arrogant and just doesn't rate him. Plus, you'll see someone like Anthony Smith is highly rated. Obviously, Smith beat Gustafsson the other day. He's a blown-up middleweight. Rockhold is a blown-up middleweight. He might fancy the fight, in all honesty. He might think, well, I can... And to be honest, let's be real here, Rockhold will steamroll fucking Anthony Smith, in my opinion. I think he steamrolls him. Takes him to the ground, and it's a wrap. So, to me, I think it's a good test to fight for Rockhold at the weight, but I think Rockhold was always a huge fucking middleweight. I don't know how he made middleweight. So it's good now that he's fighting at his actual natural weight. I expect him to do well. And let's be real here. For everybody that's hoping for Jon Jones to lose, we're talking about people like Francis being a candidate. I would say Rockhold is a decent candidate. Because let's be
For
real.
Jones?
Do you think Jon Jones can out-wrestle Rockhold? I wouldn't necessarily say so.
No, I wouldn't say so. But I do not for a minute think that if Jones was to fight Rockhold, the fight was ever going to go to the ground.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'd fight the way he fights DC.
Jones is way too smart.
Use them elbows, use them kicks.
You know what I mean? He's way too smart for that shit. That fight ain't going to the ground. Never. I mean, he can look. It's not like he can't look after himself on the ground. He can't, because we saw what he did to Gustafsson on the ground. True. It's like, you know, and Gustafsson ain't no mug on the ground.
Yeah,
you know, it's not a mug. You know, he's prided himself on looking after himself in every area of combat sports. But you know, Jones just got him down there, pummeled on him, and just locked him off, man. I ain't seen anyone treat Gustafsson like that before. In that second fight, he just dealt with him on the ground there. So, you know, it's one of those. I mean, you look at Jones, and you know, I see what Blue Whale is saying, that who cares what Jones is doing, is a cheating scumbag. Yes, I get all of that. And if you've been following us for a while, Blue Whale, you would know on this show, we're not a fan of Jon Jones. Not like that. How many times have we sat on this show and killed up Jon Jones?
I'm not a fan of the human being, Jon Jones.
Exactly. But the fighter in the octagon,
I can't help but admire him.
You can't. If you love combat sports,
as the man, no, I can't stand him.
Nobody can stand him, you know. But when you look at what he does in the octagon, away from the whole foolishness, I mean, it's like what people used to say about Luis Suarez. That you don't like him, the racist stuff, the biting stuff, all of that stuff. But when you put all of those to one side and just look at him on the pitch as a football player, you can't but admire what he does and what he is as a football player. And that's how I see Jones. So, you know, he's the best to ever do it. But there's an asterisk to it. And that's what we've always said. That's the opinion of a lot of people as well. There's an asterisk to it, but once if you take a good look at it, you know, is a phenomenal fighter, a phenomenal athlete. His whole family, his bloodline, you know, his brother, they all win at what they do. This is not something. It's not a fluke what Jon Jones is doing. I mean, you should go back and watch Joe Rogan watch Usman on Joe Rogan's show and watch what Usman was saying about Jones from when they were kids, the stuff that he used to do and how he came up with Jones. You know, I understood Jones a lot more just listening to Usman on that show there. So, you know, you get educated on there as well about one or two things about Jones. But Jones is a polarizing figure, and, you know, he is what he is. And if you like him, you do. If you don't, it's not your cup of tea. It's like Mayweather. Everybody wants to see him lose, but nobody can seem to beat him. This fight here. I'm rooting for Santos to knock his block off.
Let's not skip ahead.
You know what I mean? They drawing me out in the chat room, and they drawing me out, man.
We'll come back. We'll finish this at the main event. We'll finish this.
So Blankovic and Luke Rockhold.
Speaking of bloodline, let's talk about. Oh, by the way, I think Rockhold will beat Blaskovich. Probably first round TKO. Jorge versus Askren.
Talking of bloodline, like you said. Oh, Jesus Christ. What was that all about? And did you see Kobe Covington put in, because he's now got the fight with Lola now, Kobe Covington.
Yeah.
And he's revving up this fight as well, because him and Masvidal, they're very, very good friends.
Yeah.
They're best mates. They came up together. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is one of those weird fights that
You could
Mas
honestly make a
Mas
strong case for both.
exactly. That's why I don't know.
And
It's such a
that's weird
fifty-fifty fight.
because one of these fighters is an undefeated fighter. But
Yeah.
you could genuinely make an argument for both guys.
I've 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 at the bookies. Right now, I'm gonna put it out there. I've backed Askren to win this fight.
You back
And
Askren. Funny
yes.
enough, I back Jorge to win this fight. I think the
Oh
O go.
shit.
I think
Okay.
the O is going to go. I don't know why. I just think the O will go.
The thing is, the thing with Masvidal is, it's like Cerrone. There's certain
I know what
fights you
you're saying,
just
yeah.
expect him to win, and he just doesn't come through. And this is, to me, this is way too personal. He's took this fight way too personal, and I'm not sure if he can have the Khabib effect on a fight that's this personal, because Askren is just making light of everything. He's just okay. Anything you say, you want to do something to my bloodline, this, that, and the other. Okay, you say what you're saying, but we're going to see when we get in the octagon. That's the approach Ben Askren is taking, and Masvidal didn't even come to the press conference.
Yeah,
So
he could not stand him. He can't stand him. He can't bear to be in the room with him. So, like you said, the emotional factor for Jorge is what is really going to matter here. You know, for me, I think the key for him is just like anybody with Ben Askren. Can you stay on your feet? If you can stay on your feet, he's got problems. And as you always say, these fights start on their feet. They don't start on the ground.
oh yes, oh yeah, the
And
fight
I
starts on
think
them.
Jorge will be determined, at least for the first round, to not be taken down by Askren because he knows it will be a wrap if it is. So I
But
think
there's one thing.
we've seen Jorge actually have power. We
Yeah.
saw what Robbie Lawler did to. My only disappointment with Lawler is he didn't finish the job with Askren.
This is what I was going to say.
He didn't finish the job. Whereas,
Do
do you
you
think Jorge is
understand
not going to finish the
how
job?
much of a chin you have to go through that with Lola, that barrage? Some people even think, and I'm leaning into that camp,
Go on.
that Lola knocked him the fucker and woke him back up in that barrage. He knocked him out and woke him up in that little barrage he had there, man. Like I couldn't believe I don't know how Ben got through that, but he must have a hell of a chin. And to go through that, you need a chin to be. And we know Till don't have that chin because T Woodley dropped him and then choked him out with the dust. Masvidal dropped him. You know what I mean? But who trains with T Wood that's got that power the whole time? Who spars with him? Who spars with the man that's got legit knockout power?
True.
And if not knockout power, a legit knockdown power.
True.
Who's got that? Woodley. Who's Woodley's best friend? Askren. Askren knows all about that power.
True.
And that's the logic that I'm going with. That's what I'm going with, and that's why I'm gonna lean towards Askren on this one. Because if Askren can weather the storm and take this fight to the ground, he'll keep him there. And Masvidal, I saw the interview done with Brett Okamoto. He knows if Askren takes him down, he's more than likely to keep it because they've done that before in colleges and unis, and he knows the pedigree of wrestling that Askren has got. He's one of those Khabib level wrestling guys that if he gets hold of you, that's it. He's not coming off for you. It becomes a heavy bag on you.
And that's for that reason. Because I saw that. I did see what you're talking about, and him saying that he knows that it's a wrap. I think he'll be. He's that drive that him annoying Jorge like he has. I think he'll be determined to keep him off him. And I think if Jorge lights him up, if he lights him up, it could be a wrap.
Oh yeah, it could be lights out. It really could be lights out. But I still haven't yet seen anyone knock out Ben Askren, and he's been there with he's been inside the octagon with a load of power punchers, a lot of knockout artists. He's been in there with them.
People put a small thing on Masvidal, and when you get paid out, feel free to hit me up on the super chat.
We'll see, man.
That's all I'm gonna say. Ola is probably right. Yeah, Askren is probably going to win this, but bear in mind, mark my words. I think it will be an upset. I think this is gonna. If you had to ask me which of these fights is gonna be the upset win, this is it.
Archie in the chat says I'm with Ola. Gary Robinson says Ben is in trouble, and GHB44 says I think Askren has got this. So we got mixed opinions in the chat.
Mixed opinions.
Mixed opinions, and that's why this fight is so interesting.
I agree. Askren is absolutely favorite, and every argument you're making is logical. I don't apply logic to Jorge.
Right.
Not anymore.
Still
would get the job.
That's why I said Jorge is like Donald Cerrone. You can't apply logic to these guys. These guys are off the cuff sort of fighters. You know what I mean? Maybe even I'll put Justin Gaethje in that.
Yeah.
These guys are off the cuff.
Yeah.
Anything can happen with these guys.
Agreed.
I'll throw in Justin Gaethje in that category there of people that just do off the cuff stuff. But remember when I said to you about Usman going in there with Woodley, I said, who does this spar with? Who does Usman spar with? Rumble Johnson. Who's got knockout power? Rumble Johnson. What's his chin like? Sparring with people like Rumble Johnson. And then, when this is what discourages fighters in the octagon. They test the water. They have that feel around. Khabib does this a lot, especially in the first round.
Rumble Johnson, fucking in the lead up to that Woodley fight, he was sparring with Francis.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. I mean, and them two are good friends. But I'm just saying to spar with people like Rashad Evans, to have people like Rumble Johnson, people like Francis Ngannou in your corner, and you're sparring with these guys. This is somebody learning to take big power, and that's what I'm trying to say with Ben Askren, and understanding the power that Masvidal could come with, because he's going to want to turn his lights off.
Because Woodley's the training partner, you think he would have well prepared it for this style? Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think so. So, but like we said, you can't associate logic with Masvidal, and I'm going with logic on. Cause I think Ben has got a game plan, and I think he's going to stick with that game plan, because but we'll see. And I will take your advice. I will put a little something on Masvidal. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'll send it to you in the DMs.
Okay.
I'll send you the slip so you see what the odds is. I'll put a little something on Masvidal, man, just in case. You might get a nice little percentage of it in the super chat, like you said. So we'll see how that pans out.
Okay, and the co-main.
Yeah, this is our girl. Cham. I mean, Amanda Nunes. I don't know if there's anything else. I think this is the last fight that she needs to have to prove anything in the UFC, to prove anything to anyone. I think this is the last fight. I think after this fight, if she doesn't take another fight, if she doesn't take another fight ever again, I wouldn't begrudge her. And to me,
beaten everybody. Rousey. Fucking Cyborg, Holly
Shevchenko
Holmes
twice. No, not Holly Holmes.
Shevchenko twice.
Misha Tate. I mean,
what else is there left for her to do?
Do you know what all these guys have in common? They're all former
All champs. They're all champs.
champions. All champs. All champs.
And
this is the
these two,
only champ that she
these are the
ain't
only
beat yet.
two who have beat Rousey in spectacular fashion.
I mean, to put Rousey away in the manner that she did, and she didn't get no promotion. She didn't even get a look in the build up to that
you'd
fight.
have thought Rousey was facing herself.
Exactly, you know.
The way they promoted
You'd have thought Rousey was coming back off a win. She came back off a loss.
Yeah.
She came back off a loss.
Yeah.
So I mean, to put Rousey away in the fashion that she did, to me, she solidified herself. She always wanted to do it. I think Cyborg hated the fact that Nunes got that fight because Cyborg always wanted to be the one to really knock Ronda Rousey into Pluto. But she didn't get the opportunity. Nunes got there beforehand, got the job done. And since then, our stock is just rose and rose and rose and rose. And you know, when you've gone through the stuff that Nunes has been through as a fighter, and kudos to her, the first openly gay champion as well. So that's doing something for her community in that way. The people that are winning, the Mexicans that are winning, they're doing something for their community in that way. The little Africans that are winning, they're doing something for their little community in that way. And everybody's coming, you know, things are coming together. You know, we just need AJ to fix up. But let's not go there yet.
We'll come to AJ. We'll come to AJ.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there just yet.
We'll come to AJ.
You know, but for what Nunes has done, I think is fantastic for her. There's there's a word that's going around that Rousey is taking time off of WWE to go back into combat sports. Probably maybe come and see if she can try her luck again. So she took a year out. I don't know how true that is, but that's the rumor.
From her point of view, I could understand if Rousey's thinking about it. She wouldn't want her career. We're talking about, listen, no matter what you want to talk about, oh, she didn't really fight at elite level, this, that, and the other. You know, sport always evolves, yo. It always evolves.
Yeah.
And she was a legend for her time.
Yeah.
She absolutely was.
But she only fought in one style. She only fought judo in there. She go in there.
I agree.
Toss,
you say, listen, look at football, bro. Football, at one point, there was no skill whatsoever. It was just a case of kicking lumps out of each other.
Oh.
Sport evolved.
I've just been informed by Archie in the chat that Ronda's apparently having a family. So,
well, that was the idea. So the idea was that she's taken time out of WWE because she's always said she wants. I know she has stepchildren through trans.
Yeah.
She's always wanted a baby, and obviously she's like 31, 32 now. So the idea is she's still technically under contract with the WWE, but they've given her almost a sabbatical to just do what she needs to do.
Yeah.
And then they've left the door open if she wants to come back.
Oh, fair enough. Good, good luck to her. She's gone into WWE and probably made a hell of a lot more money than she ever made with the UFC. You know, so kudos to her. She's a big star over there. They've taken to her, and everybody likes her there. But I mean, what Nunes is doing here at the UFC, everybody loves Nunes. Dana White doesn't praise people that often, but Dana White loves Amanda Nunes. Like, she's not difficult. She doesn't, she gets up and fights, and when she's ready, she does what she's doing. She comes to the media. When you do all that media stuff, you don't make life difficult for people like Dana because they put a lot of money, time, and effort into doing media. And people like Nick Diaz come and fuck it up. People like Masvidal, they come and fuck it up. But and that's why Dana loves Conor, because Conor, I've never seen anybody that sold arenas in different countries just for a press conference, just to chat shit. Like, they're selling out stadiums to just talk bollocks is incredible. And Dana loves those, you know, Dana loves those kind of people. You know what I mean? Like they said, the yes people that get up and do for the company. You know, the company men. And you know, Nunes is one of those. She'll get up and fight anyone. And this is a big fight. They did say, Dana did say, if Nunes can get past Holly, if it's a big if, because I don't
Big,
want to write off Holly
massive.
Holmes here. You can
Because she's
Holly
got the
Holmes
style to upset you.
cannot be discounted here. I've not seen Holly Holmes be knocked out. I've not even Cyborg went 5 rounds with her. I've never seen her being. She's the fight she's been in. It's always been close. If she doesn't win it, if she doesn't win, it's a close fight, and that's the type of fighter that Holly Holmes is. She will take it to you, and she
Let's be
she
real
won't
here.
stop coming forward.
Let's call this fight like it is. Either Holly Holm gets knocked the fuck out, which, as you said, rarely happens,
Yeah.
or Holly Holmes shaves a razor-type decision.
She's good at it, you know, but I don't think Nunes is going to allow it to get there because I can't remember. I think the last fight Nunes really done a 5 rounder was when she beat Shevchenko after the nasal surgery. So I don't think Nunes is going to allow it to get there.
You say that. Here's the thing, though, right? And this is where we've had this discussion before, and we slightly disagree.
Yeah,
I think that Shevchenko victory, particularly the last one, was a lot closer than it out like it. So
it was close.
I do think she struggles.
It was close. It was close. I'm not gonna lie, it was. But
I do think she struggles with fellow strikers. I really do. I know Nunes is a striker herself, but I just feel like Holly's style will cause her a lot of.
Holly is more Muay Thai oriented sort of style, isn't it? So
yeah.
I think it could cause a lot of problems for Nunes. But
I think Holly's a good strategist.
I'm struggling to see it.
She knows that Nunes is going to be looking for that right hand all night. She's going to be looking for it, right? So if Holly can keep her at distance, she's a little bit, almost like AJ in a way, funny enough. She's a little bit susceptible to the left counter hook.
Yeah.
And I think if she can implement that style, she may have a chance here. She may. Don't get it twisted. I'm picking the champ. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's as routine as people think.
One thing we do know is Holly Holmes has got a head kick.
As much as I like Nunes, I've got a soft spot for Holly. I hope Holly wins, but I don't think she'll win. But
you hope Holly wins.
I hope Holly wins. I do. I do. I love me some Holly Holm, man. I do, man.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you, and I can see why you would root for the preacher's daughter like that. I get it, and you know, she's a good fighter. She deserves.
She's a good girl. Jackson Wink.
She deserves. You know, things in her own right, but I don't think it's gonna be off the back of this fight. I think maybe in the next go round. I think maybe in the next go round, maybe. I don't think it's going to be in this.
If she loses to me, I think she'll retire.
You think Orleans will retire?
Well, what else is there to achieve? She tried to step up to featherweight.
The next person that comes up, I think she can dominate that division because I think, and that's what Nunes said. Nunes said even after this fight, she don't want to retire. She still thinks she can do more. She still feels she's young. She ain't planning to have no kids. She still got plenty of fight left. She wants to do super fights. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know. But for me right now, I just think it's important for Nunes to really seal this legacy. I really want it bad for her. I want it so bad for Nunes. I want her to seal this legacy. She's somebody I've rooted for from day one. She's been fantastic. She's been a fantastic professional, and you never hear any scandalous stories about her. Not one. You know what I mean? She don't badmouth people. She defends herself in press conferences, and she just goes about her business. And I'm so rooting for her. I was so wanted to solidify this um, champ thing, and beat all the former champions, and there's none left for her to really fight. I hope she wins. But Holly's one head kick away from winning this fight, and if there's anybody that can really deliver the perfect head kick, because I don't think she's really got that kind of power in her arms, but I believe in her head kicks, and she can find a head kicks and front kicks. She's got that in abundance, and that she'll use that to keep the range. So I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. But you know, you want Holly to win,
I want
but
Holly to win. I don't think she will, though.
you don't think she would.
I think
I want Nunes to win, and I hope she does. So I'm all in.
Okay, and then let's talk about the main event: Jon Jones versus Santos. Now, a lot of the reason why I went for the title that I did, will anyone beat Jon Jones, is for me. I always felt like someone like a Santos or a Johnny Walker, for example, would be the guy to do it, because I think with Jon Jones, because he spends so much time analyzing. This is how Jon Jones beats people. He will spend the first round dissecting you, seeing what you've got to offer, and then he'll be building plans for that, building counters for that. And then in the second round, he'll then start using his reach, using his front kicks, his oblique kicks, really just chopping the shit out of you. Then front kicks, the side kicks, the roundhouse kicks, until you've had no more, and it will then start elbowing the shit out of you. And then
God, you can see it, can't
so
you?
many weapons to his game is so annoying, because I could see in theory how to beat Jon Jones. To beat Jon Jones, for me, you need to put yourself in harm's way. You need to be fight in the pocket, because his reach is so big. But you need to be able to put yourself in harm's way. You need to, for me, kick him, rough him up a bit, be in his face, show him different angles, not be predictive. Don't fight in patterns. But it's so hard to build a plan, because I'm not a fucking fighter. That's just me watching as a viewer. I don't understand. It's like people go. It's like that Floyd Mayweather thing.
Yeah.
Opponents have a plan until they step in front of the man and they realize, oh shit, I can't implement any of the things that I wanted to do. And that's what fighting Jon Jones is like.
It's incredible. I mean, shout out to DJ Viper in the chat. Archie's been with us. Gary Robinson. Shout out to all those guys that's been with us in there. I mean, when you look at this fight here with Jon Jones, there's so many pluses, and the reason why everybody cannot go against Jones is what the fuck he's capable of. But let's put all of that to one side. Blankovic, he tried to play Thiago Santos at his own game. Yeah? Instead of Blankovic doing what he knows best, taking the fight to the ground. He tried to play Thiago Santos. He said he was going to stand in front of him and trade with him. Wrong. You can't do that. It's like saying you're going to stand in front of Ngannou and trade with him. Even the baddest heavy hitter in the heavyweights, and I'm talking about Derrick Lewis here, because we saw what he did to Volkov. Yeah, anybody that knocked that Volkov knockout, I'm still looking at that right now, man. And the way he knocked Volkov out, and Volkov was 10 seconds away from winning the whole card, from winning the whole event. 10 seconds away. And he stands and trade with Derrick Lewis. You don't do that. It's like, you know what I mean? So standing and trading with Thiago Santos is a bad idea. And I don't think Jon Jones is going to do that. I think he's way too smart for that.
Take him to the ground.
Like you said, side kicks, front kicks, little jabs here and there, score the points just because I listened to the interview with Brett Okamoto with Thiago Santos, and this is what he said: first, second, and third round, I've got no other game plan than to try and knock him out. That's it. That's all I'm gonna try and do, and I know all I need to do is touch him once, and he will go to sleep. That's what Santos believes. That's the only game plan he has. I'm not saying he's gonna go on an interview and reveal his entire game plan,
Yeah, but
but
we
just give
kind of
it.
knew that before he even
We
had to say
kind of knew that because that's what he does. He said, "I'm just gonna do what I've been doing," and that's what he's been
which you
doing.
can't blame him for. That's what got him to the dance.
That's what got into. That's what got him to the to a title fight. What? Why change it if it got me to a title fight? Why change it? But everybody says that. Anthony Smith said it. Oh, I'm just gonna carry on doing what I've been doing. Why change what I'm doing? It got me here in front of Jones, and Jones ain't met somebody like me. Jones ain't felt someone like me. They all say that until they locked in there with Jones. They all say that until they locked in there with Khabib. They all say that until they locked in there with Nunes. These are like freak athletes that you can't gauge it till you're in there with them and feel that power and feel their strength, and it's crazy. And
Mm,
Jones, do you remember we were saying how Jones just looks through people in the changing rooms?
mm,
Even the people that are in his camp, they all say he's got this weird energy about him, and he just looks through people, like he just looks through your soul, like you're not even there, like he's a god. And once it gets in your head like that, it's over for you. It really is. And people that's tried to resist it, we know DC has been very, very good at resisting that looking through you business. But
mm,
he still fell victim to it
mm.
twice. Still fell victim. All right, maybe I'll say once because the other one he
But
tested hot. But
it's just confidence. It's confidence in knowing that when somebody knows they can beat you.
yeah,
They may have never even seen you before, but they know they can beat you. There's something intimidating about that. Look, what do you mean you know you can beat me? Oh, you've never fought me before. Listen, I've done this so many times. You may as well quit now. You're going to be in for a long night of pain. There's something intimidating as fuck about that. And I suppose going back to the Askren thing, I don't think Askren has earned that yet. All right, so he earned that when he was where he was at one, but we
yeah,
saw how vulnerable he was as soon as he stepped into a UFC octagon.
yeah. But
Whereas
let's not
at
kid
all.
ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves here, right? Let's not kid ourselves. That welcome fight when he got with Lola, that was planned by Dana.
Of course, of
Dana
course.
wanted him
Oh,
killed.
come on now,
Dana
give
wanted
it to me, bro. Give it
Dana,
to me.
Dana, Dana, Dana wanted his ass whooped.
Of
Dana really
course,
wanted someone to put the whooping on him,
of course.
and
You know
he
what Dana?
he hands he hand selected. When Askrendo won that fight again, they said, "Oh, that fight that was so
I'm
close."
not gonna lie.
Askren is like, "Listen, I don't want that fight no more. I don't want it."
Realistically, as a first fight, what kind of first fight is that really?
Exactly. What kind of welcome fight is that?
To you, you're gonna give them Lawler? Oh, what the former champ?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like what you do, you can't go and give him somebody top 15, maybe. You know what I mean? Like you give him Lola, like that's an ass whooping, and Dana knew exactly what he was doing when he gave him that fight, and he said, "Boy, take it or leave it. You've got Lola." So we both know that was a dread welcome fight to the UFC, and I think Masvidal is a tough one as well. But you know, Ben did say he just wants to go through the division one by one. He went around and picked enemies from day one, from the day he got signed. He's been picking enemies, and I think he's probably going to go after Kobe after this one. But he doesn't want it again with Lola. That's for sure. We know that for a fact. Everybody's begging him to go back and get that rematch, and he's like, "Fuck that! I ain't going back there." And that goes to show you how close he thinks he got away with his life. Like I said, he got put to sleep and got woken back up again, and you don't want to go back to that place, And to me, talking about Jones and Thiago Santos, I'm hoping for Santos. You know what you was hoping for Holly Holmes here? I think Jones is going to win, but I'm hoping Santos does.
Yep, me too. I think this is going to be third round TKO, but I am hoping Santos lands just a stray left.
I'm giving them a puncher's chance.
Whatever it takes to knock this motherfucker out.
Wouldn't it be fucking great to see Jones knocked out?
Let me be very frank when I say this, and Ola will know what I mean when I say this. I have never rooted against a black man as badly as I'm rooting.
I know what you mean. 100%.
Honestly, I cannot stand this man. As a man, I cannot stand this guy. But as a fighter, you have to admire what you see. And we all know realistically, Jon Jones will win this fight.
I think only Jones's mom really loves Jones. I don't think anybody else loves Jones. I don't even think his dad likes him like that. Like, this guy is ridiculous, you know. But Jones is like we said, you know, he's a polarizing figure. He's going to divide opinions, but he's done a great deal of it and hasn't lost a fight in the UFC. He's out there as they say TBE. They're calling him the best to ever do it. You know, that's a crazy title to give to somebody. And I don't know. Actually saying crackheads like Jones, you know, you can say what you want about Jones. And trust me and Chig, you've seen us countless times on this show come at Jones's neck. But we're just talking about what he's going to do as far as the octagon is concerned on Saturday. And I don't see nothing but a win for Jones. I'm sorry.
Me too.
I don't see it.
Me too. I'm about to watch the media face-offs. I didn't even realize it dropped.
Yeah, it's on.
It pop up on the UFC channel. Yeah. Okay, very, very quickly, now that we've covered the card, the AJ Ruiz rematch, which we assume is going to happen. They still haven't actually technically announced it. What do you think happens in the second fight? Because I've got to admit, for me, I'm a bit worried for AJ. You know,
bro,
I've since had a chance to kind of rewatch the fight because, like the whole world before that first fight, I just assumed AJ would walk through it. So I didn't bother ordering it. I didn't bother watching it. But then since AJ lost, I've obviously rewatched it, and because I really wanted to find out what the fuck actually happened. And basically, to me, forget all the conspiracy theories around it, which I think there is some valid conspiracy theories in it. But let's take all of them out for a second. Let's look at the fight itself. To me, I feel like AJ, for some reason, I don't know why he fought with his hands up. Like, whenever his hands were down, I think because I thought Andy Ruiz was actually struggling whenever AJ had his hands down and was just jabbing from low and connecting. As soon as he had his hands up, Ruiz saw that shit coming. So every time AJ, because for some stupid reason, his trainer kept telling him to keep his hands up. That wasn't the problem. His hands being up and throwing jabs is what the problem was, because Ruiz could see that coming. And I think
is the fight in England or
that's the thing. To me, if it's in England, AJ scrapes a points win. If it's in America, I'm worried for AJ. I'm tempted to say I don't think he gets it done, to be honest. For his own self-respect, his own pride, he probably needs to take the fight in America. He probably needs to. Because, you know, to me, he needs to put right what went wrong in the country that he lost his belts in. Having said that, that is the romantic me of talking. The business side, if I'm Eddie Hearn, I'm like, no, we're having this fight in the UK. Are you mad? We ain't having it in America. You have that shit in the UK, and you get back to training and do what you do best and take these belts back home. So it's difficult. The boxing fan in me says AJ needs to go back to America. The AJ fan in me says, play it safe, bruh. Take that shit back to the UK, scrape the points, win. So it's a difficult one. It is a difficult one. I think AJ will go with his heart, and we'll see that fight in America. And I think if we do see that fight in America, it'll be closer. I don't think AJ will be stopped, but I think he loses him on points. That's just my view. It's a controversial one, but that's my view.
The more this fight builds up, because I was confident that AJ was gonna fucking win the rematch when it was fresh, when it first happened.
When it first happened, yeah.
Like, it's a fluke.
Me too. But then I rewatched the fight.
It's just a bit of that Mexican luck going around. You know, these Mexicans are trying to prove something to Trump, all that shit. I just thinking, that, you know what I mean? But then the longer it's going on, and I start to put logic to it, I start to think, one, it's a bad matchup. Two, if you don't know Will Harris, go and check him out. He does videos on fighters anatomy for fighters that's, you know, leading up to a fight, and he goes and works with them. And the people that was dealing with Andy Ruiz at the time went to say to Will Harris that you need to go and cover this guy that's fighting AJ, Andy Ruiz. They say it doesn't look like it, but they believe he can beat AJ. He went on Joe Rogan's podcast and spoke about this. And he said he regretted not covering Andy Ruiz because he didn't even think it was that anybody. And lo and behold, you know, he's a world champion now.
He's a world champion. He's got fast hands.
Exactly. Everybody that's watched him, they keep talking about that fast hands. And that's
he's got fast hands, but he's got slow feet. And that's where I think if AJ's going to win this fight, but it's just like AJ's not the quickest with his feet either. But if he's going to win this fight, to me, he's got to be clever, much more clever than he was in the first fight. Stay behind his jab. Keep that jab low. So you get hit in the face once or twice. So keep that jab low. Just stay behind the jab and then look for the opening. And if he can do that, maybe he might be able to win this fucking thing. But he's going to have to be a lot cleverer than he was in that first fight. That first fight, I don't know what the fuck happened.
I mean, shout out to Archie. Archie said, you know, Ruiz is the better fighter, but AJ needs a better IQ and adapting in the ring. And
that's very accurate. Yes, I would agree with that.
I mean, when you look at it, when you go back and look at the fight, like you said, the movement of AJ wasn't great. I mean, you know, and when you look at the fight that Fury had, all right, granted, you know, his opponent wasn't that kind of grade. It wasn't as great as the guys that we're talking about and the people that's really going to give him the challenge. But the bobbing and weaving and the movement, the head movement, the body movement of Fury, he looks so sharp. Yeah. He looks razor sharp.
But to be honest with you, for me, and this is where I guess Fury's style looks good when he has an opponent like that.
Yeah.
When he has an opponent that has no clue, just baffling, just swinging haymakers.
But that's the type of fighter AJ is.
No, see, to me, I think Archie just had it perfectly. I think for me, Andy Ruiz is the better fighter. Forget the fact he's fat; he's a better fighter,
of course.
But
nobody can judge the book by the covers anymore when it comes to this type of thing.
But I also think that's purely on the basis that he's had much more amateur fights. He's had much more pro fights as well. So, of course, he's the better fighter. No, he's not had more pro fights, but he's had much more amateur fights, right?
Right.
So, when you obviously fight on amateur level, particularly in boxing, to be honest, it doesn't really matter how many fights you've had as a pro. If you've had like a good 100 to 150 amateur fights, you're ready for this team. So, and AJ, yes, he won an Olympic medal. He's only had 40 amateur fights. So I think for me, and this is where I do agree with Archie, AJ's instinct, he knew the thing to do was to drop his hands. The thing to do was to drop his hands because every time he had them up like this, first of all, he couldn't see where the fuck he was coming. Couldn't see the punches coming. And then second of all, he was punching from up here and Andy Ruiz was able to dodge it. Whereas when AJ settled behind his jab, kept his left hand low, and then just threw that shit out. That's how he knocked him down in the first place. So that's what I want to see him do. But he kept listening to his coach, who, I ain't going to lie, I think he needs to get rid of Rob McCracken. Get rid of him.
Everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying that, but AJ seems to be the only one that wants to stay loyal in that fight,
bro. He kept telling him to put his hands up. And in my mind, I'm like, no, you drop your left hand. Because every time you were dropping your left hand and it was coming from down here, Andy Ruiz didn't know what the fuck to do. Because in that situation, you need to use your feet. And Andy Ruiz can't use his feet because he's got slow feet. So that was what, I don't know why he almost ignored his own instinct and started listening to Rob McCracken. And that's where I agree with Archie, because clearly he knew that, but didn't do it.
But do you think that had anything to the panic attacks, the sparring session that we heard they had? Some people are saying that sparring session never happened. Some people are saying the person that was supposed to have knocked him out in the sparring session does not exist. That is, it's a made-up lie. And some people are saying...
To be honest, and this is what I've always said from the very get-go, it's in Eddie Hearn's interest to deny these rumors. The reason being, you don't want to be the guy to have made AJ go into a ring knowing he was concussed. Why would he say that, yes, that's true? It's in his interest to deny those rumors. My man did not look right going into that fight. Whatever happened, whatever you want to say happened, he didn't look okay going into that fight. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that that's the reason Andy Ruiz beat him. Listen, I've just said I think Andy Ruiz will win if it's in America. So I don't necessarily think that's the reason he won. But I do think it contributed to just not being with it. Not being with it at all. And I just feel like, to me, I think AJ maybe it's taking so long because AJ's really trying to work out, can I beat this guy? Because I think that's a legitimate question. Where does AJ go if he doesn't win?
It is. I mean, that could be the end of him. And I'm now of the mindset that should he sit out this rematch, just allow the rematch.
Oh,
let Ruiz go and get his ass whooped by somebody else.
What, and like a Wilder Fury?
Like a Fury.
To be honest, I think Dylan White would. I think White would
go and dance with Fury to get his belt back.
I think White would beat him purely because styles make fights. Dylan White ain't gonna be having a bar of it. He'll be in his face the entire time, and I think he would probably, because we saw.
Do you think Dylan White would beat AJ now?
Huh?
Do you think Dylan White would beat AJ now? If Dylan White and AJ was to be the main event on Saturday night, forget Jones and Thiago Santos. AJ, Dylan White.
For a title.
For what you know now from both of them.
For a world title.
Yeah, for both of them, yeah.
For a world title, yes.
You think Dylan White gets it done?
You want me to be real? For a world title, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I honestly do. Just because Dylan White has been kept.
I agree with you, by the way. I'm in agreement with you. And that's why I really want AJ to sit out this period. Just let this whole thing get flushed out of his system.
Bro, that Ruiz fight scared me for AJ. It scared me. That wasn't just I got beat by a fighter. He got his ass whooped.
Because I'm just going back to what Stipe did to Francis, and then Francis taking that mentality into the Derrick Lewis fight.
That's a good comparison, actually.
That's what I'm scared of. You know what I mean?
That's a good comparison. But Francis also came back from that. Francis came back from that. Can AJ?
And that's, I really wanted him to complete the year. He didn't, but I don't know. It don't look like it's going to happen. Like you said, if we said Dylan White and AJ go on Saturday, we think Dylan White's going to take it. Why are we thinking that all of a sudden?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? If
You
you'd
see what I'm
asked me
trying to
that
say?
way before the first fight,
If anybody asked you that 6 months
I'd
ago,
have
you'd
said,
be like, get
no
the
chance.
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. It's a mental thing. It's a mental state, and I think
Do you know? But
AJ
you know
really
why
needs to
though?
shake it
You
off.
know why I've changed my mind on that? It's the whooping. It like it was a bad whooping that AJ took. It
Yeah.
wasn't just I lost.
I mean
That was a
that
whooping.
meme that got made from AJ with his
Oh, bro.
soul and his body rolling out of him, grabbed his suitcase, jumped onto the fucking. Was it EasyJet? Was it British Airways? I don't know the plane he jumped on. He jumped on some fucking plane. And
Oh, what? Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
that meme, that meme that got made.
Bro, bro. Honestly, he pisses me off because I'll tell you something, right? For me, if I was advising him, half of that half that team of yours, get rid of half of these fuckers because I'm sure not all of them are important. Get rid of half of them. Stop flying around doing other modeling shit. Just stay in one place, do your camp, go to the fight, go a couple of weeks before fight week, and acclimatize. Every day I woke up to his Instagram or his Twitter, and he was doing some other shit, and I'm like, what's this guy doing?
It's got that Tyron Woodley effect, yeah. Doing
Like,
everything but
he did
fucking
not take Andy
training.
Ruiz seriously, and I just had this funny feeling, and I said to my girl the day, I think it was on the fight night, and I said to her, I just got this weird feeling that something badly is going to go wrong during this fight. Don't know why I had that feeling. I wish I put a bet on that day.
Boy, there's a lot of people that actually put a cheeky little change on Andy
Oh,
Ruiz
I'm
and they
so
won
annoyed I
ton of
didn't
they
trust me.
won a ton of money,
I'm
man. They
so
won a fuck ton of
annoyed
money.
actually.
I was
I don't
pissed
know
off.
why. I just had this weird, unsettling feeling because she'd asked me when the fight was, and I said, and I told her, well, it's in America. It's probably like 3, 4 a.m. And then she goes, you reckon he'll win? And I said, you know what? You should, but I've just got this weird feeling. And then as I had to do a double take the following day, and I basically said to her, you know, he lost, right? Like he lost. It was so weird. It was so weird.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, um, Guy Robinson is saying, why hasn't he fought in the USA before? Is it because it's shite? I mean, it's all about breaking the market, building these fighters. I mean, having 20 fights in the boxing world, it's not really a lot. He's still out there trying to build his brand. I think that's why he hasn't broken America yet. And the same thing goes for Wilder. Even though Wilder has had twice the fight that AJ has had, he's not really done anything, outside of America. And to
To be
me,
fair,
the
Wilder's
both,
fought a couple of times in the UK early in his career.
yeah,
Early in
but
his
that's what I'm saying. Like that's
Like he beat
early.
Audley Harrison.
But
People
but
forget that.
but then that's when it was building his brand. So it's all about brand building because people think, yeah, just being a champion and that's the end of it. It's like football nowadays. It's not just about football anymore. You have social media accounts to build, you have brands to build, you have um, units to sell, you have merchandise to sell, and your promoters, the people that's invested money in you, your whole camp, they're all depending on that. They're all depending on the money that you bring back in for their, for to look after the gym, to pay the staff, to for the traveling around the world, all of
Mm,
that stuff, and
mm.
and just getting paid from being inside the ring doesn't just do all of that no more. There's so much more outside of fighting, um, that that they have to build as well as their in ring, in ring capabilities. So I understand saying why he hasn't fought in the USA, and that's why he went to the USA and tried to make this fight happen. Because when Big Baby Miller got popped, he could have easily sat back and said, you know what, I'm going to kick back for a minute. Let me see what shakes out from a couple of fights, and then I'll go around and pick a winner. But he was so desperate to do something in America. Obviously, he paid the ultimate price for it,
Mm.
and he has to now find a ballsy way to rectify it. But the person that he's doing it against, it's not a schmuck, you know.
That's why I don't think he'll win. I've just got this horrible feeling again that they, like you said, they've been too hasty. They've decided to activate this rematch clause, which is crazy to me because they always have that clause. So why not have a couple of warm-up fights and then, if Ruiz still has the belts, then take the fight.
Ruiz reminds me of Kevin Gastelum. These guys, they got, you know what I mean? They don't go down easy, man. You know, you got to have to murder them to get them out of there.
Man. Mexicans are different breed. We've done that
before. You're gonna have to murder him to get him out of there, man.
Mexicans are, and I mean that, by the way, with huge compliments.
It's a massive compliment, and we've been paying them compliment for quite some time now, and they deserve it. In the sporting community right now, what they're doing is ridiculous. And let's not leave out Canelo as well, you know. And he started this whole thing with Triple G. So you know we can't leave Canelo out of there, man. You know they've been doing wonderful. They've had a wonderful year when you look at it, innit?
Yeah, they really have. Nigerians and Mexicans, when you really think about it.
It's been incredible. It's been incredible. So, you know,
but yeah, I don't know. For me, let's see if the fight gets announced, because I was expecting that fight to be announced by now, and it still hasn't. So
yeah, I mean they're taking their time with it. To me, it's a question of it's almost a question of the venue, because I think Ruiz was always going to do the rematch, but I remember I did say at the time when this whole rematch talk started, and I said AJ would think he can make demands, but you're not the champion anymore.
You're not the champion anymore.
You're not the you can't think you can make demands where you want the fight to happen. I mean, for all we know, Ruiz could be trying to negotiate, saying, "Look, I want the revenue to go to Mexico. I want to have the fight in Mexico."
True.
You know what I mean? For all we know, we don't know. So this could be happening right now.
True.
So,
true. But if I'm AJ, fuck going to Mexico.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying it could be using that as leverage to get more money.
You're right.
You're right. The MGM.
I think he's gonna have a hard enough time trying to prize the belts out of America. Never mind going to Mexico. So yeah, if I'm him, it's either New York or nothing in America. It might.
I'd go along with that. I think it's gonna happen in the MGM as well. Yeah. And you know, Gary Robinson.
Oh, you think they'll go to Vegas?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure I'd go to Vegas if I'm
MGM, Vegas, Wembley. These are the places.
New York or nothing. If I'm AJ, New York or nowhere in America. Fuck that. Go and put it right in the venue you lost the belts. Is my view.
Anyways, did you hear about BT charging £19.99?
Oh, and I know you want to have
£99, because I am pissed the fuck off. Do you know the only reason that I've really got BT? Cause I pay for this shit nearly what, £90 a month. I'm paying on a Virgin with fucking full BT on it. And they want to then charge me extra £20 fucking to watch pay-per-views. Like, I don't understand it. And it's not something that it's something that I take into personal, because one of the real reasons to keep BT on was because they showed UFC fight, they showed MMA fight, and now they're gonna take that away from man. You know what I mean? And they're saying, yeah, you know what? Pay us £20 on top of everything else you're paying, and you can watch pay-per-views. That's all you're good for. That's the only reason I got beat in the first place.
To be fair, it's a pay-per-view, isn't it?
Yeah, for Americans. We're already paying per viewing on here. Paying fucking BT and fucking arm and a leg.
They'll have to do it a couple of times to realize ain't no one paying.
This is the thing. But I have to pay to watch this 239.
Just acquire it like we all do. This is what you're going to have to do.
What, the legal thing?
No, the legal thing, yeah. The legal thing.
The legal thing. The legal thing. I mean, I don't. I'm just thinking to myself, this is something that's really got on my nerves since I saw the advert. I've been saying to you that I really, really wanted to talk about this, and it fucking pissed me off. But you know, I might have to do it like that, man, because I don't know, man. It's a rip off, man. It's absolute rip off. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're even gonna do Fight Companion. Have you been watching the Fight Companions with Joe and Schaub and Brian Callen?
No, they won't do it for this, will they? Joe will be working.
Joe's gonna be there. Joe's gonna be working.
So,
Yeah.
Usually they only do Fight Companions when the card is not in America.
Who do you think is gonna do the commentating? We know John Anik and Joe is gonna be one of the two. Who do you think is gonna be the third guy? Do you think they have DC there?
It won't be DC.
It'll be too close to home.
It'll be what's the name of that little man? Dominic Cruz.
Do you think it'll be Cruz?
100%. Cruz is actually a good commentator, to be fair. So I
like Dominic Cruz.
So is Paul Felder. I really like Paul Felder on the mic. By the way, just before we get going, have you been participating in the bottle cap challenge?
Oh, I saw one with Michael Jai White. That's the first one I saw.
Bruv, I've not even seen the Michael Jai White one. I've got to find that one.
Oh yeah, that to me is the best. I've seen Jason Statham's one as well.
Yeah, I saw Jason Statham's one. Yeah,
but go and watch Michael Jai White's one. God damn it, he ran from a treadmill. You need to watch it. Don't even let me spoil it, man.
I'll watch it. I'll find it.
The way he done it was ridiculous. The way he done it was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, literally, pretty much everyone has done one. Cejudo did one, and it was cringy as ever. I've seen everybody else.
Did Conor do one?
Conor's done one. Yep.
Okay.
Conor's done one. Jon Jones has done one. I've not seen DC do one. I've not seen Askren do one. Those are the two notable names I've not seen.
I wouldn't expect DC to do any. I'm not expecting Derek Lewis to do anything. any of those
what's her name? The former strawweight champion. What's her name?
Namajunas?
No, the other one. The one that beat her.
Joanna?
No, Namajunas. Yeah, Rose.
Namajuna, yeah.
Rose has done one.
Rose has done one. Okay. I need to check this out.
Yeah,
I mean, out of all the ones that I've seen, Michael Jai White is still my favorite one so far. So I need to check out some more, man. I've only seen a few, but
nobody fighting on Saturday other than Jon Jones has done one. So just to put that out there.
Okay.
But have a look and see what you think.
Some actually just said Conor's one was cringy.
no, Conor's one was cringy because it took a while to get going as well. It took a while. I was like, what is this motherfucker doing? Yeah, he's right. But yeah, that's pretty much it from us. You guys let me know what you think. What are your predictions for the 239 card? Possibly I might be around. Ola, you working on Sunday morning?
I'm not working on Sunday morning. My son's got football tournament, my youngest.
Oh, so you might not be watching you're going to be watching it, given
bro, come on, of course. Of course I'm going to be watching it. Even though I'm going to go and suffer the football tournament the next day. But you know me, I'm a soldier like that, man. So it's nothing.
Depending on if my...
Bro, there's going to be a reaction. There's no depending. There has to be a reaction, man.
My missus might have something to say, but yeah, I'll see what I can do.
All right, I hear you.
I'll see what I can do.
I hear you. I mean, this card is way too big not to do a reaction.
I'll definitely see what I can do,
fight, man.
For sure. But yeah, I'll leave it with me. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, but hopefully there'll be a reaction video to this. I'm hoping you guys have enjoyed this at the very least. Ola, let the people know where they can find you again.
Yeah, you can find me on Black Scorpion Free on Twitter. If you haven't followed me, go on there drop me a follow. I'll engage with you on Combat Sport when I'm not working. I drive a lot, and because I drive, I don't really engage with my phone. But if I even like a comment that you do or put up or anything like that, it means I'm really saying hello to you. It doesn't really mean I'm just liking the comment for the liking sake. It mean I'm really communicating with you like that, because
Yeah,
I can't really type
Ola does
because I
communicate
drive.
a hell of a lot more than I do. But to be
You
fair,
know,
so he
and
does.
I try to do in chat rooms as well. So, come and communicate with man, and we'll talk that Combat Sport. The only thing I don't like is talking about politics. I think there's more important things in the world to talk about than that.
Agreed, agreed. Politics and religion should never really talk about.
No, not for me.
Uh, by the way, should have said it at the very start of the show, and I didn't. Happy Independence Day to all the Americans that are
Oh yes,
fans of mine.
100%.
I
Salute
hope
to
you
you
guys
guys
are
out there.
enjoying today.
VP, he did get in touch with me earlier on about there's the earthquake going on
Like in LA, yes,
in
I did.
America. So shout
I
out
was just
to
coming on to that as well. I
hope everybody's safe out
know I
there.
do have some LA listeners. Thoughts, prayers, of course, with you. It was a pretty serious one, a 6.6 on the Richter scale. So I know that's a hard earthquake. So
yeah, man, because I've
I
been
hope
so busy
everybody's
today, I
safe.
didn't get to see it. And VP pointed it to me and dropped me the link on Twitter. So thank you for that. And I
We're
thought I
very
really with
fortunate
you
in the UK that we don't have to live
experience
like that.
stuff
So
like that.
yeah,
We had the tremor once, and god damn, boy, I mean, the thing shook my whole fucking neighborhood down, man.
did it?
My wall.
See, fair enough. I know
This was a few years ago.
Because it was in the news, and I barely felt anything.
Bro,
I barely felt.
things
The
were
only reason I
falling off
knew
my
something had
yard. Well,
happened.
I've never been so shook. So
The
I can
only reason I
understand
knew
people that
something had
actually go
happened.
through the real thing. People that actually go through the real thing. I mean, it's crazy. I
The
mean, we
only
have.
reason I knew something had happened was because I remember that like a couple of cars, their alarms went off just randomly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't
Man,
really
it's a
feel.
scary thing, man. It
Of
was fine,
course,
bro. It shook me the fuck
what can
up,
you
man.
do? You literally
So
can't do shit other
you're
than
helpless.
find
You're
it out.
helpless. You're at the mercy.
Yeah,
And to run to go through a tremor like that, have to think about your family. Run upstairs to try and get your kids out of bed. Get your missus. It's because this is something that happened in the middle of the fucking night. So it's a scary thing, man. And I hope the people that went through it. I hope that they survived. A lot of people survived it, and the people that didn't make it, we're thinking about them. Condolences to them as well. It's a serious thing, man. But natural causes, there's nothing you can do about it, man. It's Mother Nature. That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, I totally agree. Anyway, guys, fucking hell, I didn't even realize I had my camera off the entire time. Sorry, I didn't realize.
Somebody said that to you in the chat earlier on. Now, what's going on with your camera?
Yeah, sorry. Oh no, I did not know I had my camera off the entire
It's
time.
the week you're all looking fresh with a haircut and everything as well, man.
You know what I mean, bro? You know what I mean? Sorry, guys, I didn't even realize still. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do crush that like button if you have. It always gives me and Ola that feedback to let us know that you enjoyed the show. It's a bit longer for you this time because it's been some time me and Ola have kicked it. So we hope you guys have enjoyed that.
Yeah, man.
Back to the grind of Arsenal tomorrow. I'm not even having fun anymore.
I think the next time I'm going to see you, hopefully, fingers crossed, is going to be doing the reaction to 239. I'm praying that you get the green light from the missus. Do what you have to do to please the missus before that time, Brenton. You get me? Do what you have to do.
I'll do what I have to do. I'll do what I have to do. But yes.
Like Chef said, it's your duty to please the booty. God damn it.
Don't worry. For the team. I'll do what I have to do. But yeah.
Oh Lord.
Hopefully me and Ola will be back on Saturday. I'll be back tomorrow to do an Eagle Eye episode. So I'll be back to Arsenal. For those of you who've been like, oh my gosh, MMA and UFC. I'll be back to the Arsenal grind tomorrow. There'll be a chopping block on Sunday. There'll be a Chiggy wish list video on Monday. So we're hitting you with content. So hopefully you guys enjoy.
I've definitely been enjoying it. You lot been grinding. You've been putting in work.
You
guys been putting in work, and I've just been kicking back watching. I've been enjoying it, and yeah, keep it coming, man. Keep it coming.
Thank you, brother.
Love your work, and yeah, you've been giving some great insights into some of the things that's been going on in the summer. So yeah, man.
Thank you,
well
bro.
done. Keep it
Appreciate it. Me and Lee are talking about doing soon in the next couple of weeks a preseason preview. So I hope you're around for that.
Yeah, I will be, man.
Yeah,
man. We got to get back to kicking it, man. You know?
Yeah,
we got to get back to that, man. So that would be nice, still. That would be
Speaking of which, Lee has reached his 20,000 goal.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my guy, man. I rung him today. Still,
big congratulations to him. I know he's very, very excited to do his podcast, and the ideas he has for his podcast. Trust me,
he's crazy.
People have asked me before, "What are you threatened with Lee doing a podcast?"
No, man.
And I say, listen, A, he's my friend. I've always wanted Lee to do well from the very get-go, and even he will know that. But B, his podcast is going to be so different to my believe me, there ain't no infringements or anything like that. Just keep an eye out for it. It's going to be brilliant. So
fantastic.
But anyway, that's enough of me plugging other people. I'm out of it. Thank you all for joining me.
No problem, my guy. It's all love. You know that. Anytime,
take
brother.
Care, guys. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. We're out. Peace.